Conflict. It's something we all have to deal with. The question today is, how do we lead productive conflict? If you're ready to find out what the first rule of leading productive conflict is, stay tuned, because this is your weekly kick. Hey, welcome to your weekly kick. Productive conflict. What is it? It almost sounds like an oxymoron. Conflict is usually seen as something that's damaging, that destroys, that hurts environments and hurts workplaces and hurts people. But it doesn't have to be. Conflict can actually be very productive, especially in the workplace. Today we're going to look at rule number 1 for leading productive conflict. Because conflict has the potential to bring good and positive results in your workplace that you're a leader in. So, rule number 1 is this. We need to understand what conflict really is. In 2000, my wife and I went to Hawaii and we spent just over a week there. We were driving through the mountains and it started to rain. Like Hawaii, we thought, was just gorgeous all the time. It was sunny, it was hot, and it had been. But all of a sudden it got cloudy, it started to rain, and it got cooler. And we were driving through the mountains on a bit of a tour. And what we came to was a tunnel. So we had to go through the tunnel, and we drove through the tunnel, and it was dark. We couldn't see where we were going, but we could see that there was a road in front of us, and so we kept following it. We got out to the other side, and what we discovered was that it was beautiful and sunny, and there was absolutely no rain in the sky. You see, we had driven through a bit of a mountain range through this tunnel, and it came out the other side, and the weather was completely different. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. See, this is what conflict really is. It has the potential to take us from an area, a place that's stormy, that has people are upset with each other, nobody's working well together, and we're not trusting each other. We go through this tunnel, and all of a sudden we come out the other side, and there's a positive result. We can change some of those relationships. We can create some positive results in our workplace if we're willing to go through this tunnel. Now, just like this tunnel, conflict is a little bit dark. It's a little bit unnerving because we're not sure what's coming next. We're not sure how people are going to respond. We're hoping we're going to make the right moves, but we're not sure. We need to understand that conflict is something we need to walk through. Just like we had to go through this tunnel behind me, leaders need to take their people through conflict. Productive conflict is possible only if we willingly go through these tunnels. If we do it kicking and screaming and trying to avoid it, conflict becomes something that divides, that doesn't ever get dealt with, that never gets resolved. As a leader, we need to take our people through the tunnel of conflict. And what we find out when we get inside there, it's not really as scary as we thought it was going to be. We avoid conflict most often because we're afraid or nervous about what could happen. We're not comfortable being in conflict with someone. Well, the reality is we're in conflict with somebody before we enter this tunnel, whether we admit it or not. If someone's upset with me, we're in conflict. If I'm upset with someone else, if I don't trust them, we're in conflict. We need to get to the other side of this tunnel to experience the positive results that we can in our workplaces. If we want to restore trust, if we want to restore good working relationships, we need to take and lead our people through this tunnel. Avoiding it gets us nowhere. So hang on for next week when we're talking about the second rule for leading productive conflict. Again, the first rule is we need to understand what conflict is. Conflict isn't as scary as we think it's going to be. It's just a tunnel that we need to lead people through to get to the positive results on the other side. And keep your eyes open for my new book coming out, More Than a Hammer, Leadership Tools for the Trades, Part 2. It should be out in the next week and a half. We'll see you next week for your weekly kick.